Ew, ew,
Oh, it didn't
ew.
work, dude. It didn't work.
That's the theme of the show.
Gah, gah, gah. Hey everyone, how you doing? Hopefully having a very good Friday. I had a special explosion planned for you guys, but it didn't work. We're working on it. Hold on, let me go to my backup. Let's go to the backup. Go to the backup. Woo!
There we go.
Woo!
Yeah, there it is.
Woo!
Woo!
Actually, that made a terrible mess here in the tent.
Yeah, have fun cleaning that up later.
Yeah, when I did that in Mexico, it was a little easier because it was on a patio that I could just sweep up. But out here, a little more exotic. Anyway,
Maybe the possum.
guys,
Maybe the possum will take it in bits and pieces.
it's everywhere. Thank you guys for joining us on a Friday. Hopefully, you had a great week and even better weekend. It's freakishly close to Christmas. You can see my very elaborate light setup here.
We are a week away. We are literally a week away.
Hold on. I'm actually gonna need to be able to use this at some point. So
okay, that makes sense. Yeah, you should have planned that out.
Yeah, well, I planned to just blow it up behind the sign, but then I picked up the dud gun. So here we are.
That was my nickname in college, the dud gun.
The dud gun. Hey. But no, nice little packed weekend at sports with a little bonus of basketball starts right on the other side. Actual real games that count. I'm sure James Harden is cutting weight right now.
Yes.
The fighter's mentality.
Yep.
But
he's in the sauna with the suit on and everything. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. We're in the garbage bags.
Yep.
Not a great NFL weekend, I'm going to be honest. But
no.
I'm still going to watch it. I mean, it's just still. Actually, this might be the most freeing red zone weekend anyway. I mean, I still like to watch red zone and just watch all the games. You get the best plays, touchdowns, whatever. All my fantasy teams are way out of it. The Raiders played themselves out of it last night. It's whatever. But we got conference champions and championships, I should say, in college football.
Yep.
Some news out of the NHL that's positive. A UFC fight night going on over the weekend. So good stuff to look forward to. Tyler, how are you doing this evening? Hopefully better than my first confetti gun.
Well, the dud gun is doing great. Looking forward to the weekend. Again, we've got plenty of college football, lots of championship games, although there's also plenty of canceled college football.
As a tradition.
Of course, we're actually going to have some Saturday NFL on top of the usual Sunday slate. Premier League's back, like you said. We got the last UFC fight card of the year, which kind of looking over it, it's actually a pretty tantalizing card. I really like the looks of it.
Yeah.
But overall, looking forward to the weekend. I'm not going to be Christmas shopping this weekend because everybody will be, and it's going to be a fucking zoo. So I'm going to try and stay in as much as I can this weekend. Ronnie, how you doing?
Doing well. I don't know what it is. I mean, that first day, after we reopened, after all the what have you, it's very busy. I was kind of bracing for this Friday, and it really never got going. Maybe the last 45 minutes kind of busy, but not too bad. Looking forward to a short day tomorrow and just, relaxing at home, enjoying some sports as much as I can get in there. I don't know. We'll pull it up here when we get there, but the time of the second NFL game, I feel like I'll be able to catch most of that one. But always nice to get to the weekend. Everyone at the house is safe, negative.
Good.
So a lot to be thankful for. But let's hit the comments real quick here. Suck at mosquitoes, especially on a Friday night. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Suck at possums, which I'll get into in a second. That's effed up, bro. And Ron did predict the Chargers game would be a close game. Yes, I did. Well, I my two predictions were Chargers blowout, close game. One of them came true. Nowhere in my mind was a Raider blowout. Not like I'm ever factoring in Derek Carr just getting hurt like at the beginning of the game, but Mariota played pretty good.
He did good.
I was satisfied with that, which kind of sort of brings up some interesting questions that we'll get into when we talk about that game. But real quick off the top, a couple of little short things I mentioned. NHL. It looks like it's
Finally, some
tentatively,
news.
yeah,
Finally, some news.
they don't really like to talk a lot, but when they do, they like to make sure that all the other leagues have said things that didn't get them in trouble, and then the NHL briefly speaks on it. So we are looking at January 13th, the 56-game season. Um, I have not gotten into the finer points as far as if they're going to like regionalize this, keeping the travel down like baseball or something like that. I don't know, Tyler, if you saw any of that, but we knew it was coming, but it's so weird with the NHL, their new like say nothing policy, then they just show up like, oh, we're going. I mean,
Actually, Gary Bettman in the statement said that every other game is going to require a cross country flight. So he did what he had to do. So
one
no,
step forward, two steps back.
I haven't looked into the details either. I would imagine shortened season. Yeah, it'll probably be regionalized, like just the West plays the West, East plays the East. But who knows? Like I said, I haven't looked into it, so I can't say for certain.
But it's just funny that this is kind of like the NHL's whole bubble response. Like, we're just going to lay low, let other leagues do things that work, do a lot of things that don't work. And then, like you see right here, a month before the season would start, they're just like, oh, all right, here it is. We're going to go. Very NHL move right now.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm happy for it. I told you kind of before the show, I recently got NHL 21, so I've been playing that. So I'm kind of been getting back into the hockey mood. So it'll be nice to see them going again.
Yeah, I mean, it's time for hockey. Let's be honest. We need some hockey back in our lives, and I knew they were going to come back, but they're just playing everything so close to the vest these days. It's hard to kind of pin these guys down. But I think that's probably the smartest thing Bettman's ever done. Because, when they're out in front of things, it's just like him out in front of a train of criticism. And so he just kind of lays back and then just like, all right, we're going.
Yeah.
A couple other little odds and ends, as I said. NBA season, I believe, starts either Monday or Tuesday, the regular season. But just a weird note that now apparently Jerry West is getting investigated, and the whole Clippers are getting investigated. That there was some kind of shadow deal for $2.5 million to a friend of Kawhi Leonard to get him to sign with the Clippers. And also the other, which, look, I'm a Laker fan. You could see the beanie. Well, not right now, but
there it is.
And you guys already know. But apparently there's a voicemail where he was calling, don't go to the Lakers. It's a shit show over there. Honestly, I thought that was kind of funny. I mean, it kind of was at that point. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
We didn't know it was going to happen. But, man, Zeke from Cabin Creek, that's my guy. I hope he's not really caught up in this. I don't think this is something that he would really I mean, maybe he did it. I don't know. I mean, he's a guy that gets stuff done. But still seems like, for the most part, a pretty class act. So hopefully they don't take it out on Jerry. Take it all out on the Clippers. Nobody likes the Clippers. We saw the Twitter fallout when they totally imploded in the playoffs. It's always fun when the Clippers just totally get shit on.
Look, I think they've. My thought is kind of they already got caught. Now the NBA is just kind of covering its tracks. That's why the Clippers signed Paul George to a 5-year deal. That was the punishment. So it's like. It's like,
the punishment has already been levied.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're looking at like a time-served situation. Like, okay, you've already signed Paul George for 5 years. We can't do anything more to you. So, I mean, it's gonna be weird to see what comes of this. I don't know. I don't imagine anything will come of it, but who knows? Maybe we will get some juicy stuff out of this.
It is weird, and it just kind of. Man, the Clippers, everyone, all this hype train of the Clippers, and then the wheels fell off in the playoffs, and then you hear all these reports of Paul George, Kawhi Leonard's doing his own thing. Like, the team kind of resents that. Like, he gets to do whatever he wants, make his own travel arrangements, blah, blah, blah. Nobody likes Paul George. Montrezl Harrell was going at him. Like, apparently there, some shouting matches in the locker room, in the warm-ups, whatever. And then they fell on their face. And then now this. Like, Clippers, man. Clippers stay the Clippers. I don't know how else to put it.
No, that's it, man.
Clippers stay the Clippers.
Yep.
And then one other thing, as I alluded to earlier, I've often referred to the possum that terrorizes our backyard here, a.k.a. the studio, the dojo. And I wanted to have a possum camera that I could just turn on, but I haven't been able to work that out. But I did catch him pre-show, just flagrantly, just strolling around like it's his house and we just live here.
Yeah.
Caught him outside. Didn't really even run off. I mean, he just kind of like sauntered away. I mean, I sort of like chased him away. But check this guy out. Look at the stones on this guy.
Hey, dude. Hey.
I mean, he finally showed some hustle at the end, but I mean, he came
He's
back.
trying to live his life, dude.
As soon as I sat back down, he just kind of meandered on out.
He's just trying to live his life, man. What you running him away for?
Yeah, I'll let you live. Obviously, eating well. That thing is pretty big.
That's true. Yeah.
He was
right now.
He was a little skinnier when I first saw him, when we first made visual contact. But he's healthy. Let's just say that, mighty healthy. And a couple comments coming in early. Justin, if Jerry West cheated, the Chargers have great special teams, and the Raiders have a Hall of Fame defense. I hope that is all. Well, I mean, I know the other two aren't true, but I hope your sentiment is correct. I don't want to, even if he did, look, Jerry West has to do what Jerry West has to do to make the Clippers kind of good.
True.
He knew, we got to break a few eggs. We're the Clippers. We got to make stuff happen. If it's behind the scenes, maybe paying someone out, this is the only way we're going to get there, guys.
Yeah,
right?
So some items fall off the back of a truck. Maybe a briefcase gets left behind somewhere. Who knows?
Look, I don't know where it came from. Excuse me.
Bless you.
It's just there. If you want to pick up the money, that's up to you.
Right.
And then, God, sorry.
Bless you.
5 years of Paul George. Just cross the Clippers out from ever making the finals. I would agree with that.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And definitely agree with that. I really don't think Jerry West needs to, have any more juice within the league and respect amongst players, executives, things like that. He needs help recruiting like FIFA needs help cheating, which is neither of them do.
Yeah,
but
very true.
Moving on, let's go into football. Let's go into college football. Actually, we got conference championship weekend.
Yeah.
It's been a weird year for college football. It's been a very, very weird year.
Oh, you don't say.
I'm just going to say it now. I'm putting it out there. I know you guys don't want to hear this. It may shock you, but it's been a very weird year. But we do have conference championship weekend. Actually, Oregon and USC are playing right now. I know Oregon was leading coming out at halftime. I don't know what the score is currently.
Actually, get a score for us here.
Pull that one up. Let me get the banner out of the way briefly.
I'm trying to get the score up anyways. Come on, phone. There we go. Efforting, yes.
We need efforting over here.
It is 28-17 Oregon with about 2 minutes left in third. So USC has them right where they want them.
Yep, that's right. We already warned you, Oregon. Just do not go into halftime with a lead.
Yep.
It's a kiss of death.
Yep.
But taking a look at the slate of other championship games tomorrow here, and of course, it wouldn't be a college football schedule without two canceled games smacked right in the middle there, including one conference championship game.
Actually, we have 10 total canceled for the weekend.
Oh, yeah, I'm just talking about on the screenshot here.
Oh, yeah, just on the screen.
And definitely a bummer for Coastal Carolina. And also, I mean, probably would have been a pretty sweet game.
Louisiana's been good this year. I mean, they freaking beat Ohio State. I wish they beat Ohio State.
I wish anyone would beat Ohio State.
They've only got Louisiana only got one loss in the year. I mean, they're solid. So that actually is kind of disappointing. We're not going to get to see that game.
Again, it's pretty clear that anyone from outside of these five conferences is just boxed out of the playoff at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe now and maybe forever, unless they change this up, go to 8 teams, or at some point, I still am sort of thinking like the way this whole playoff thing is already set up, it's all ran by them. NCAA really doesn't have any kind of say over what goes on at all. It's just controlled by these conferences and the TV networks. Mm-hmm. So I could definitely see that, possibility of them just breaking away and just doing their own thing. And then maybe you have like another tournament for the other teams that still align with the NCAA. But
so that's the funniest thing. I actually saw somebody the other day describe it really well. Is like they should just call it an invitational tournament, because that's really all it is. Is like, okay, we've got an idea of like 6 teams we want here, and we'll just kind of maneuver everything how we want so we can get 4 out of these 6 teams. So just call it the invitational. I think people have less of a problem with it.
Florida lost at home to freaking LSU.
To a really bad team and dropped
went down 1 spot. Like,
yeah.
That's all you need to know. Like, to the BYUs, occasionally Boise States, Coastal Carolinas, like
Cincinnati 9-0.
Cincinnati, you ain't getting in. Like, it's just the rich guys club. It is what it is.
Old boys club.
Yeah. But Ohio State Northwestern, as we've talked about, Big Ten had to kind of bend over backwards to make this happen. Well, not really, but we knew it was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
With that sterling 5-0 record, that gauntlet that they have ran through in the championship game. I don't know. I mean, pretty sure what the outcome will be, but I don't know, Tyler, you have any thoughts on this as our Big Ten insider?
I won't fully discount Northwestern. They've been pretty solid this year. Of course, Pat Fitzgerald, he's ran a heck of a program for a while now. And, for as good as they are, Ohio hasn't really been blowing out people like they have in the past. Like, they're doing enough to win, win fairly convincingly, maybe get like a double-digit win, but it's nothing like you've seen in the past. I knew they're obviously the heavy favorite. If you were asking me to bet money line, I would take Ohio every time in that one.
Minus 18.5.
Yeah. Northwestern's offense isn't amazing. Yeah, I could see them covering that. I would just, it would obviously be very shocking if Northwestern won, but I think it's hard to see them winning it. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I mean, I still think Ohio State comes away with it, but 18.5, like Tyler said, Ohio State hasn't really just like blown the doors off anyone, especially with the talent they had. Everyone knows about that coming into the season, but it's been a crazy season. They've only played 5 games, and they haven't really been like the steamroller. I mean, obviously the Big Ten is doing everything they can to get them into that playoff.
Sure.
But I could see the cover at least, potentially there. Justin, gotta watch out for that backdoor safety cover.
That's right.
Oh, man, too soon. Everyone involved in that Monday night game. That was a gut-wrencher. But and not a conference championship game, but relevant for Texas A&M, who's still sort of maybe on the fringe.
They're slotted right there to where, so that's kind of the funny thing is this weekend, like, because if you really want chaos, you've got to root for Northwestern to win. You've got to root for probably Oklahoma. You probably got to root for Oklahoma to win. You got to root for Tennessee to win. You got to root for Clemson, you got to root for Notre Dame to win, because I think if Clemson wins, both teams 1 loss, they're both still in it. If Notre Dame beats them, Clemson's lost twice to a team that's going to be in the playoff. There's no way you can actually – well, I shouldn't say there's no way you can justify it, because they will do it.
There's no reasonable way.
Yes, there's no reasonable way.
They'll find a way. There are ways.
Yeah, as we are known to say on the show, there are ways. I mean, look, I'm kind of all for the chaos at this point, so I say go for it. I mean, root for all the teams that the pollsters, or not the pollsters, but the committee doesn't seem to want to get in. Like, root for that. I mean, that's what I'm here for.
I think, I mean, like we said, probably the most interesting thing as far as the Big Ten championship game is maybe Northwestern covering on that.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of really looking forward to the Big 12 championship game. You can see it's only -6 for Oklahoma. I think that could end up being a good game. Really bummed that Coastal Carolina does not get their conference championship game. Yeah. And intrigued because the first one was so good of the Notre Dame Clemson rematch. So I think that could be a good game as well. And now, Trevor's back. So
exactly. And we'll see how much of a difference that makes. I mean, what did that game go to overtime, or was it just really close to the end of regulation? I mean, I know Notre Dame just pulled it out, and that was with Clemson's backup quarterback. So I'll be interested to see that. If Trevor Lawrence goes out there and balls out and they kill Notre Dame, that's I mean, I don't know how much more his draft stock can go up, but that would definitely do what it could in that case.
I mean, how much better can he possibly look to the Jets?
That's right.
He's just building his Jets resume at this point.
Yep.
Moving down the slate, Mountain West Championship game.
San Jose State. Let's go.
Give them hell.
Let's go Spartans.
Always been annoyed by Boise State, although they kind of took the path of sort of like how Gonzaga has done in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were just saying about the college football playoff, I mean, it's pretty much a guarantee that no one outside of those 5 conferences is ever really going to get in there.
Yeah.
Boise State, when they were really, making their run, at least would go out and play people and put together good seasons and get into those, like, New Year's Bowl games and stuff like that.
Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma. We all remember it.
Yeah. But still just kind of, I don't know. I do like to see teams that have a record that indicates they should at least have a chance to be put in there, get a shot. Boise State just always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And San Jose State, I mean, it's just a fun story to root for. As we were talking about before the game, I love that wedged into 3 conference championship games. It's the canceled Michigan-Iowa game that Tyler and I are, just pretty firmly believing that even if it wasn't COVID-related, probably just canceled due to disinterest.
Just nobody wants to see it, yeah.
We don't need it. We don't need to have it. We don't need to see it be played.
No, nothing good comes from it.
Alabama, Florida, a lot of the shine came off Florida. I mean, Alabama's going to beat them anyway, even if they won last week.
Yeah.
Probably handily, but they get a chance. They only dropped down 1 spot for some reason.
Yeah, they're going to lose to Alabama and go up 3 spots.
Yeah, they're yes. Or they beat Alabama and then both of them get in.
Look, I wouldn't put it past the committee to do that, but well, I mean, of course, look, Alabama, they can lose and stay in the top seed because, look, they lost to the team that beat Alabama. What do you get? Like, that's strength of schedule right there.
You guys look at the whole resume, body of work, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Cincinnati, our beloved Cincinnati, in the AAC championship game against Tulsa. Minus 14, I feel like Cincinnati's good. I mean,
they're good. Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say, like, hey, they would take a run at Alabama. Like, let's just be realistic.
No,
but
they wouldn't.
That's a pretty good team. I like what I've seen out of Cincinnati this year. So at least let them, they played 8 games. They've actually played more than 5, Ohio State. And a nice little capper for them. The possum is back, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. He's just throwing it in my face now. Like, this guy's just a dick.
He's going to be hosting the show next week.
Yeah, probably. You'll just see him with a headset on, and I'll be deposed. Well, good luck getting that Tito's Auto Body sponsorship, guy.
That's right. They hate possums.
Had to do the legwork on that one. Anyway, nice little slate of, again, it's a weird year, but conference championship weekend's always fun anyway. So looking forward to some good games there.
Yeah, and then just 2 quick pieces of college football news I wanted to bring up kind of before we jump into the NFL here. First, the other day, they did announce that Aloha Stadium in Hawaii is condemned due to lack of maintenance. So who knows what the University of Hawaii is going to do. I think their schedule is pretty much done this year, so who knows what they're going to do next year. All I say is wherever they play, if they have to come to the mainland and play, whatever you do, don't change the kickoff times. Let them kick off at normal Hawaiian time. I don't care if they're playing in North Carolina. Let it be 11 p.m. local time kickoff so we can get that late Hawaii football.
For hardcore college football fans and degenerate gamblers alike, we need that late night. Save.
God. It's the best.
My huge, insane parlay got blown up, but we still got a game going off.
Yeah, it's midnight. Why am I not watching a Hawaii game?
And then you can always get some, excitement just going with the over on a Hawaii game late at night.
And then just the other news that came out today in an interview, Notre Dame head football coach Brian Kelly threatened that Notre Dame may possibly pull out of the playoffs if the fans of the families of the players are not able to go to the games. That's probably the most empty threat I've ever heard from a college football coach. Like,
sure you will, guy. Sure you will.
I'm sure that'll happen. He kind of made some points about I don't understand why we would have to fly all the way up to California for a game where there's no fans. Like that point, I can understand. Like I definitely get that. But when I heard that, I was just like, no, you won't.
Notre Dame is not walking away from any playoff chance.
And if you do, you will be fired on the spot. They'll bring in somebody else to just be like, hey, look, let's just get through the playoffs. Let's go. Let's make this money.
Yeah, nice try, Kelly, but no one's believing that.
Yeah.
A couple comments here. We got Will checking in. Big win for your boys, Will and Tyler. Great shirt. Sorry, Ron. I'm not mad. It was in 4K. I told you guys going in.
There you go.
The stream looked great. Stadium looked great. Raiders don't, usually ever have nice things. I can't wait to go inside that stadium. But
it's a nice stadium.
Their defense is just hot garbage, so it is what it is. Nick coming in. I hear sirens in the background. That was causing chaos.
That was actually from me. My window's cracked open, and I live in the hood, so there's always sirens.
He might have connections over there, dude. I don't know what this guy's deal is.
He's running the streets in Bakersfield, but he's living in San Diego.
Yeah, he's put a call in. Ryan doesn't think I'm serious. Get someone outside Tyler's house. Justin, if Florida wins and A&M and Ohio State lose, do you guys see a scenario where a 9-2 Florida team gets in over undefeated Coastal Carolina? Absolutely. Because Coastal Carolina is going to get screwed either way.
They would put a 5-6 Florida team in over an undefeated Coastal Carolina. Let's not kid ourselves.
He ain't lying. Come on. Let's just look at for, what it is. And also, I really love this idea. For the love of God, make University of Hawaii play from aircraft carriers.
That would be dope. That would be 100%. Dope. I love that idea. Yeah.
Make it happen. Make it happen. But let's swerve over to the NFL. One little just side piece of news here. And this is low-hanging fruit, but at least it's, in good intentions, I guess. NFL is looking at getting frontline healthcare workers that have the vaccine, just let them go to the Super Bowl for free. Definitely an easy, good look for the NFL. Again, definitely. Roger Goodell never really steps out in anything to oh no, where's going to be the backlash on that? Okay, well, that's a layup, but hey, do what you got to do, Goodell. But let's get into the games. And as Tyler said, we do actually have some Saturday football.
We do.
That time of the year. Nothing really great here. But,
no.
Buffalo needs to keep the train rolling. Allen's really playing well right now. -5.5. I still think that's safe.
Yeah, I like Buffalo in that one for sure.
Yeah, Buffalo's kind of just hitting their stride at the right time. Carolina is just completely lost right now. Green Bay -8.5. I kind of like, a little intrigued by that just because they seem to be that team that sort of, just doesn't really show up for games they think they're going to win.
Yeah.
So maybe, but Carolina's just not really good at all. And but nice to have some NFL on a Saturday. It's going to flip back and forth between conference championships and a couple NFL games. But diving over to Sunday, boom, there we go. Tampa Bay and Atlanta.
Barn burner right there. Ooh.
Yeah, Tampa Bay -6. It is a conference game. Atlanta, I don't know. I mean, they play each other twice a year no matter what. So could be 6 is pretty conservative, but could be a better game than it looks on paper, I guess. I still think Tampa Bay is going to win, but
sure.
You never know what happens in these late season conference games. And looking at 49ers and Dallas, interesting. 49ers just very depleted, but they play hard. And Dallas fighting for their lives just like everyone else in that conference. I feel like this is the best time of any to bring in our Cowboys insider, as you know, on the program. Coming in on the Jupiter Records and Tape Celebrity Hotline, bringing in Justin to the show. Justin, how are we doing this evening?
I'm fantastic.
ID.
Caught me a little off guard, but I'm engaged with the show, so it's good. We're good to go. We're always ready to roll.
I try to give a little build up preface so maybe
it was a quick warm up. Bring in the righty. Let's go.
Yeah. Put a shirt on.
I'm pretty sure at this point people that watch the show know if we're talking Cowboys, that's probably the time where Justin's going to come on.
True.
So,
Cowboys insider.
Yeah, no, it's I actually had just commented that is the one and only Dallas Cowboys playoff scenario is that football team goes and does non-football team type things and loses their last 3 games, which is possible, looking at their schedule. And then Dallas obviously would have to win out. And then that obviously would put us 7-9, looking like a dominant team rolling into the playoffs, probably hosting, Tampa Bay, I guess, or one of those teams, So, yeah, in terms of against the Niners this week, this is a matchup of who's having a shittier season.
Yeah.
I think it's us, honestly, but who's to say we can't steal one? If Dalton can be efficient with the football, if we can establish a run the way we did last week against Cincinnati, obviously not as easy against San Francisco, but they're missing a ton of dudes too. So this is a game that I could see Dallas stealing, and that would keep the hope alive, man. Keep the hope alive,
Hey, anything is possible in that division. We know this.
The
Literally
NFC,
anything.
Yeah, anything in the NFC beast, bro. Anything.
Yeah, that's it's an interesting matchup to me because Dallas still has, like you just said, a lot to play for. San Francisco, we've said it multiple times, pretty much every week on the show, is like, look, they're not having a great year, but I also can't say they've not played. Like pretty much every other team, you could point to a game and be like, yeah,
sure.
like this team gave up in this game. You could tell San Francisco, they've never given up this year. That's just kind of not their style. So, Dallas, San Francisco has nothing to play for. Dallas has everything to play for, but San Francisco is not going to make it easy.
No, not at all. And I don't think it's a possibility that Kittle is suited and playing this week, but I do know that Kittle is close to being able to go for the 49ers. So I mean, it's a motivational factor if nothing else. But it's just one of those things. I mean, Dallas was very fortunate to get the first half turnovers against Cincinnati last weekend that we did. I don't foresee a repeat of performance. But who's to say that they can't string it together? At the end of the day, it's turnovers with these two teams. They're both, like we said, they're both been horrible all year. So I think whoever wins the turnover battle, I know this is groundbreaking analysis. Whoever wins the turnover battle is probably going to win the game.
Well, what?
So, yeah. So
Fox Sports Radio, get this man a job with this analysis.
Yeah, no doubt. If Zeke cannot put the damn ball on the ground for once this season, that would definitely help. I think if we see a situation like we saw last week, similar to where it's almost like damn near a 50-50, 60-40 split between Zeke and Tony Pollard, I think that's something that could benefit the offense as well. So, if I had to put a number on this one, let's say I'm never going to pick my team to lose, 24-17, Dallas.
All right.
And a nice easy cover for Dallas bettors out there. So consider that 49ers -3 favorites. So you know what? Kind of like some of the action on that too. Like we said, San Francisco is capable. They're going to give you a good game, but definitely just kind of playing for something on Dallas's side, just playing for pride on San Francisco's side, and it's still Nick Mullins back there. I mean, come on. Like, he's going to give you the ball a couple times.
Come on, Nick. We need it.
Oh, everyone in the East needs it.
Yeah.
But also, I wanted to get to Nick's comment before I let you go, Justin. Nick's wife, if you don't know, Jasmine, is a nurse. My wife got vaccinated. Looks like I'm going to the Super Bowl, baby. Nice. I hope you do, man. Go for it.
Good stuff.
Live your dream.
I like it. The Giants will not be there, unfortunately, Nick, but it's okay. You can be there representing them.
This is when their run starts, dude. They still got a shot. Everyone's got a shot.
Yeah, pouty face Eli Manning's not walking through that door, bro.
All right. Well, thank you, Justin, as always. Our
Thank you guys for having me
on the program. Again, brought to you by Jupiter Records and Tapes. Please believe that. Jupiter Records and Tapes, 1351 University Avenue, your home for outdated music formats. As we move on down the list, Detroit at Tennessee. I think that's going to be a bloodbath. This is Derrick Henry's season right now, and Detroit is just, totally lost. Titans, I mean, even beyond Derrick Henry, I mean, it kind of goes one and the same, though. Like, once Derrick Henry really gets rolling, shocker, so does the Titans. That makes it easier for everyone on the field, both sides of the ball, when he's just eating like that, giving you 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, like seemingly every game once you get past first couple weeks of November. And I don't see any problem at all for the Titans in this.
Yeah, no, I mean, Henry's going to feast, and then even then, once you start crowding the box, if it even matters, then they can start throwing the play action, hit A.J. Brown or Corey Davis over the top, or even Jonnu Smith across the middle. It's, I don't imagine this being a very good game. I of course, for intent purposes only, but if I was betting on this one, I think I'd be comfortable with that Titans 10.5.
Yeah, 10.5. I'm strong on that as well. Indianapolis, Houston, I don't know. I mean, it all depends on Deshaun Watson. Houston's had a pretty terrible season anyway, but kind of a game where you really want to see the Colts just sort of like just step on the throat. I mean, everyone's kind of hyping them up right now as like one of the teams that could possibly challenge the Chiefs. So this would be a nice little statement for them just to go in there and just mop up the Texans. I think they're going to cover, but like you said, would be kind of an encouraging sign just to see them really go in and just like win by a couple touchdowns, something like that. Just as we're getting close to the playoffs, like, all right, it's for real. I mean, they certainly look for real anyway, but just really like put their stamp on it. Like these are going to be, if not top 2, at least top 3. Steelers seem to be like kind of falling apart right now, but again, when you have to play games every 4 days, that's kind of what happens. Don't expect the Colts to lose, and I do expect them to cover that, but just kind of more looking for like a dominant performance in that game.
Yeah, I mean, plus look at the records. Them and Tennessee both 9-4. Like both teams are going to want that home game in the first round. So, I mean, those two teams still have a ton to fight for. It looks like that's going to come down to the wire there. So, yeah, I expect Indy to come out looking good as well. 7.5. Yeah, I think I like Indy to cover that.
Oh, Justin, coming in on your Titans. Well, and I piggybacked on that. I agree. Don't touch that 10.5. That's a Stafford special. Lions will cover, but Derrick Henry will get 300 yards. All right. Well, I could see all of that happening.
Well,
also a live read from Justin. All my 8-track and cassette mixtapes come care of Jupiter. Space age stuff. Go get your son.
You know what, Justin? Maybe you're right, because maybe the Titans will be up by 14 with 1 second left, and Stafford will throw an 80-yard touchdown at the end of the game, because that's kind of what he does. So
yeah, they got, what's his name, Hawkinson. It seems like they got some kind of weird connection going on where he always makes tough catches.
Old Stat Padford getting those, getting all those numbers once the game is out of hand.
But he's such a good guy. The Lions deserve better. I'm like, who's been there the whole time? Stat Padford,
right?
Like, at some point, will anyone blame this guy? Anyway, New England, Miami. Obviously, Patriots out of it, but Belichick, salty bastard that he is, would love to take the piss out of the Dolphins a little bit, which in a game they really need as far as seeding and just even possibly not even getting in, but I think they're going to get in. But definitely, like we said, Tua played good enough last week. He showed some rookie things, but he also showed some flashes of like, this is probably the guy, like barring injury, whatever. Made some nice throws when he had to. They hung tough with the Chiefs. Chiefs just got a little too much juice for him right now, but that Miami defense can cause tons of problems for any team in the league, even the Chiefs, like we saw early in that game.
Yeah.
We'll see how the Patriots come out looking in this game, but Belichick, man, he's, like I said, he's just kind of even in a lost season at this point, he just is that dude that would still like kind of get off on just like, yeah, take that, Dolphins. Like, we're going nowhere, but we stuck it to you guys.
Yeah, I could definitely see this being a game where, I guess Tua's not technically a rookie, but he's, just getting his first starts, and we all know what Belichick does against young quarterbacks. I still think that Miami's defense is good enough to, this could be like a real ugly, low-scoring game, but I think Miami's defense will pretty much keep New England actually even the red zone for the most part. I'm not expecting a good pretty game, but yeah, I think Miami is going to win this one.
And yeah, I mean, you can see kind of the way the betting community is leaning too. Miami only -2, even though the Patriots really don't have anything to play for except just spite, which Belichick loves. But
it's true.
Hate fuels the dog. But Chicago, Minnesota, kind of who cares? Do you care about this game?
I mean, there is playoff potential.
There is.
Just because kind of like the back end of the NFC is like not that great. So like 8-8 or 7-9 might get you in that last wild card spot. So I mean that there's that aspect of it, but other than that, nothing really excites me. I mean, Dan Bailey's going to miss a bunch of field goals. Trubisky's going to miss a bunch of passes. I mean, yeah, there's nothing overly exciting about the game.
It's my classic divisional battle, I guess.
I suppose.
Kind of intrigued, football team going to play the Seahawks, well, at home, but Seahawks favored. Alex Smith is not going to play, I don't think, right?
I don't believe so.
So I think that really kind of, even though everyone is still technically in it, I think that might be the death blow for the football team, just because he seems like the most capable guy to actually play quarterback for you for an entire game. So not having him really hurts. Their defense is really good, but hey, 6-7 in the NFC East, still got a chance to just take that whole thing, get that home playoff game. They're going to be, motivated. Could be a sneaky good game. I guess that's the best way I could table that one.
Yeah, I could see it being, pretty hard hitting. Washington is. I don't know if they're going to have Antonio Gibson. If they have him, that will help them kind of establish the run, keep the ball out of Russell Wilson's hands. It could be a good game. You know what? I wouldn't even be that surprised if Washington covered.
I like the cover on this one.
Yeah,
I don't know about the win, but
yeah, I don't know if I'd take a money line, but I might take Washington to cover the 6.5.
And then the blowout, actually kind of like the cover in this one too. Jacksonville's really bad, but Minshew Mania is back out there. You saw him get in the game in the third or fourth quarter last weekend.
Yeah,
and maybe Baltimore proved me wrong. They had a good game on Monday, a classic game. We already dove into that on Wednesday, but I just feel like they would be prone to not showing up a little bit and maybe just kind of sleeping on the Jags. Yes, they only have one win, but the longer that goes on, Baltimore will win the game, but they might mess up their chance at covering that third team.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd touch this one, to be honest. Just because 14.5, yeah. Sorry, I'm just kind of going back and forth in my head. Yeah, I don't think I'd touch this one if I was betting on it.
Well, Baltimore proved me wrong, like I said. You had a good win, a classic win on Monday, and really time to show what's up. Okay, beat a good team. Now beat a bad team. Beat the crap out of a bad team.
Yeah.
Real quick, I know we're running down to the end here. Jets at Rams, my game of the week. As you know, Rams take care of business. Don't Jared Goff, if you throw more than 3 picks, I'm going to fight you. I'm going to find you in real life and fight you because there's no reason you need to lose this game at all. Just get on them early. Don't give them any kind of hope. Jets have no business beating you guys. You're 9-4. Just take care of business, all right? But Jets plus 1,100.
You're looking at that one, huh? Looking at the money line.
Hey, I can make up all, if I lose my 0-16 bet and I go big on the Jets.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting the Rams to take care of business. I know there's been quite a few times this year where it's kind of like we don't know which Ram teams are showing up, but I think they're going to show up. If Goff throws the ball more than 18 times this week, then something's wrong.
That's
he
never
shouldn't.
Ideal, yeah.
Normally I put that number somewhere in the 20s, but it shouldn't. He shouldn't even be close to the 20s this week.
No. Eagles, again, every team in the NFC East has a chance. Going to Arizona. Arizona, kind of up and down. I mean, honestly, with the Rams and the Seahawks in that division, it's tough. Even the 49ers. I mean, they all play hard over there. 7-6 still, nothing to be ashamed about. Tough game for the Eagles. I don't really. I guess the most intriguing thing is just seeing Murray and Hurts, go at it as far as like quarterbacks that just take off and run.
Yeah, it's it's kind of a last stand game for both teams. Neither team can really afford a loss anymore. So this actually could wind up being a sneaky good game.
Yeah, that's a nice one to look at in the afternoon games. Kansas City, New Orleans. The only thing that's really interesting is that Kansas City -3. Yes, they're on the road, but I don't know, man. I mean, Kansas City, it's just like 10 minutes of game time could be like 24 points for them. Like you never even they could suck and they could just like go insane like on a crazy hot streak. Yes, the Saints have a good defense, but not a great look losing to the pretty hapless Eagles last week. So -3, I'm thinking the Chiefs are going to cover that.
Supposedly the Saints are going to have Breeze back. I'm still kind of wondering, because that guy
had how many ribs?
I was going to say
intact ribs.
He had 11 broke ribs, which hearing that just tells me they don't trust Taysom Hill to be a full-time quarterback against a decent team, let alone a Super Bowl winning team. They'd rather have Drew Brees out there missing, with just rib bones floating around his body than have Taysom Hill back there. Yeah, I think -3. God, yeah, I think I'm hammering the Chiefs all day on that one.
It's still going to be one of those, game of the week type, like everyone's getting it wherever you live. 12-1, 10-3, definitely a sort of a marquee matchup. But yeah, I don't know what kind of Drew Brees we're going to see if he plays, and Saints kind of reeling. I mean, losing to the Eagles is bad, dude. It's just they're so bad. Like, yes, Hurts is kind of a little spark plug just by not being Carson Wentz. I feel like anyone would be a spark plug, but that was just a rough look for them. I don't know. I mean, I think they can bounce back, but I don't think they're going to beat the Chiefs.
Also, just want to give a quick shout out to Nick in the comments. Yes, I'm aware. Not only is he in the WWE, he is actually freaking awesome in the WWE as well.
Agreed.
He can talk. He puts his body through stuff you wouldn't think he does. He's amazing.
Sticking up for the punters out there, and very entertaining radio show.
Yeah. And the Monday night game, or the Sunday night game, excuse me. This is, oh boy.
Giants got to have it.
Gotta have it.
At this point, kind of I'm almost like, dude, I'd rather see Colt McCoy if I'm a Giants fan.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, talent-wise and future-wise, it's Danny Dimes. Like, you're invested. I get it. But he just gives the ball away too much. Like, Colt McCoy, he's not going to do anything like game-breaking, but I feel like he's at least a little more responsible with the ball to, keep you in the game. Cleveland's defense.
Game manager.
Yeah, definitely just a game manager, but that's kind of what they need right now. Like a steady hand. Their defense is pretty good. Cleveland's defense is pretty bad. We saw that. I mean, Ravens' offense is definitely capable of running on anyone, but I don't know, man. Nick, you hit us up in the comments. Do you want Danny Dimes?
He just did, and he said the same thing he said last week.
No, the Giants always want the smoke, according to Nick. But from your honest opinion, would you rather see Danny Dimes go out there and throw 3 picks, or Colt McCoy throw for probably 150 to 200 less yards, but maybe 1 pick and 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, and you also got to look at it from Cleveland's side. They kind of blew the game. I don't know if I want to say they blew the game against Baltimore. They just left Lamar too much time. But they're going to look to come back. I mean, that's a tough loss. That keeps Baltimore in the division too. They're wanting to, possibly get that top wild card seed, maybe get the easier opponent in the first round. So I think Cleveland's going to come out strong and just really punch Giants in the mouth from the get-go.
Colt, control the game. Nick has spoken.
There we
Justin,
go.
Again, Cowboys insider Justin. Giants getting smashed this week, bro. No answer for that run game. Well, I can't really argue with that. I mean, the Browns' run game is strong as hell. But let's see. Giants got to have it. Cleveland kind of needs to have it too, like Tyler said. Just after a tough loss, kind of need to bounce back and really still, have a grip on that division there. But we got 1 minute left. I know that went a little long. Not going to have a ton of time, so we're just going to go right at the end. A little teaser here for UFC with the Fight Doctor. This is the main event here. So anything you're looking for here in the last minute or two?
Honestly, this entire card, top to bottom, looks really fun. I mean, of course, it also has America's sweetheart, Greg Hardy, on it.
Of course.
So, that part may not be fun, but just top to bottom, man, like this card is, I think it's going to be full of bangers. It's an awesome final card of the year. Like if this card was a pay-per-view, I would be satisfied with it. But guess what?
Yeah.
It's going to be free. It's on TV. So I will definitely say final card of the year for the UFC. Check it out.
Definitely hit it up. And yeah, free. I mean, it's like a little, end of the year present from the UFC and Dana. But thank you guys as always. I know we went a little long on the football, but always love hearing from you guys. Thank you for Justin to hopping on, just hitting us up with Cowboys Insider Takes. And just enjoy the weekend in sports. You guys be safe. We're trying to avoid these crazy spikes. Just let the people that need to get the vaccine get it, so we can finally have some kind of normal 2021 at some point.
Some kind of sanity.
But thank you guys as always for joining. Have a great weekend. Tyler, anything you got to get us out of here?
Yeah, just if you're gonna go, if you're one of the wild people going out Christmas shopping this weekend, just be safe, be smart, wear your mask. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love you. Enjoy the weekend. As always, keep the fire.
Keep the fire.
At the buzzer,